Well, thank you for inviting me here again. It's always nice to be here, and I feel more comfortable being here without all the titles because I was here when I was holding political office and I got grilled by you guys. And the last time I was here without a political position, and I still got grilled by you guys. But this time around, I hope you can I have Pong tape for you to grill.
This time no more grill because they gave us a drink.
Oh, they give us drink too. Actually, by inviting me on Thursday is good because my article comes out tomorrow. Every Friday. An advertisement, please. And the questions here are easy to answer. So, the first question is: so does Pheu Thai have a chance to win? Yes. What must they do to be in a position to form the next government? They have to do better than this. And if they do, will Thailand see the same political turmoil that marked 2008? Yes. And the rest you can read in my article tomorrow. But actually, I wrote about the censure debate. For the opposition, I probably have to begin by making just a few observations. I think there should be a forum where we interchange more than we come here and lecture something, right? Because we don't know much about Thai politics, being out of politics for 4 years now. But I think if you analyze the opposition, there are probably 2 or 3 milestones that will answer the basic questions that you were trying to explore here. Of course, the first milestone is next week, the censure debate. My article come out tomorrow. If the editor doesn't change the name, it's going to be the last chance for Pheu Thai party, the last chance for the opposition to show what they have. And it's always the last chance because the election is going to be called early. If the Prime Minister has his way, he's been sending strong signals. Of course, the Prime Minister has changed his positions day to day, and that's why he survived for 2 years. He has that political instinct, right? And you don't.
I have no comment.
Yeah, don't comment him yet. I'll let you comment my cousin later. Let me comment him first. But for the censure debate, I think this is the performance of a lifetime for the opposition, because the 3 main topics are on the table. The first one is, of course, the 91 deaths and what happened to the 91 deaths and what happened in the Red Shirts rally last year, which there are still no answers from the government. It's been a year now, almost a year now, and April 10, there'll be a mass rally. There will be a mass rally every week now, but by come April 10, there'll be a big rally to ask the government what happened to Mr. Muramoto from the Japanese side. They'll be asking questions about what happened, why 20-some people died. And people died from both sides. I mean, even the soldiers, Colonel Rom Gao, there's still no official account of what happened to him, why he died that day. So that's going to be one thing that's going to come out in the debate. And of course, on about the May incident and May 19 and what happened there. Now, the opposition is going to be talking about this, and they should talk about this. But I'm not sure if they can perform well or not, but this is one of the topics. The other topic is, of course, the corruption that's going on. And that always comes up in Thai censure debates. And there is never really, in Thai, there's no bicep, there's no evidence, hard evidence to, get people in corruption charges in a censure motion. There is never in our history, right, that a government is toppled by a censure debate. So it's going to be hard, except for, I don't know what Kun Pongtape has under his sleeve, you have to ask him. I would like to know too about Philip Morris and the palm oil scandal, but that's going to come out on the corruption. But I think the heart of the matter that the Thai people, and this reflects in the polls, is that they want to know about the economy, the state of the economy. Why are prices of food going up? And why are prices of oil going up? Why is the government not doing anything? Now, all three incidents, all three topics is going to be raised by the opposition. The problem with the opposition is that they can present the cases, but the government also have a chance to clear themselves in Parliament. And in Parliament, I always write this and say this: the best speaker in Parliament is the Prime Minister. He is eloquent, he communicates very well, and he can tell stories on his side and make it believable. Now, if it becomes a shouting match, like the last, about 2 weeks ago when there was a Parliament session, I don't think the opposition will gain much track in terms of making it credible that the government is ineffective, inefficient, and corrupt. But if the opposition can really dig out what is the government's decision-making process in each of the case, who ordered what and when during April and May of last year, who was the one who gave the order for the army personnel to crack down on the red shirt rally. Now those processes have never been told in public. It's always in that gray box of the crest, which is now turned to some acronyms, I don't remember. But what crest did, no one ever really inquired, and it was never really out in public. I think the opposition should grill them on that. And if they can prove their case that decision making is flawed, then I think the opposition have a case. Because if they go into a shouting match of what happened, the government has their own version. I believe the red shirts that there were soldiers on BTS in front of Wat Patum Wanaram. Prime Minister Abhisit and Deputy Prime Minister Suthep Thakksin denied that in Parliament last year. Now the shouting match, it will come back. But who made the decision? Who ordered what? I think that's what the opposition should have to prove themselves. Same with the economy. I think the economy is never been managed by this government at all in the past 2 years. It's always been going with the flow. There was never a real economic team. The economic cabinet was supposed to be managing the economy. That's all they do is approve projects by ministries' proposals. That means essentially dividing up the cake between the coalition partners. Of course, part of it is not Abhisit's fault or the government's fault, but it's the nature of the government that was formed in a coalition manner. But at the same time, the Prime Minister should have and should be able to lead in terms of economic decision and economic management. In the good times, when the world recovered and our exports went up, the government said that this is the result of our doing. In bad times, like in this past 2 months, when the price went up, the Prime Minister basically said, hey, prices are going up all over the world. We have to live with it. I don't think that's economic management to me. So the opposition have to prove that the government is inefficient, ineffective, and corrupt. Now that's the first milestone. If they get past that, then they have enough credibility to go into the election. Will they win the election? I think they will come in first, Pheu Thai. But they won't, this is my gut feeling now. I'm just looking at simple polls, people whispering at me, I don't know the facts. But my gut feeling is that they will come in first, but they will not win the absolute majority. So that's going to be a power play then. Will they win Bangkok? I will probably have to ask Kun Pongtep that, and he will answer that. But my gut feeling is that Bangkok is 50-50 for me. I think the Bangkokians, the urban people in the urban areas, and a lot of people in the outer provinces are fed up with the government, fed up with the Democrats, but still have lingering doubts about what the red shirts have done, lingering doubts about ex-Prime Minister Thaksin, or what he's going to do, and are caught in between. There's a big group that is caught in between. Now, they're fed up with the government enough to put their votes in the ballot box for Pheu Thai. I don't know where the tipping point is. I think it's coming. If the economy goes south further in the next few months and the election is called, then I think the Democrats have a real problem on their hands, even in Bangkok. Is a third alternative available? I don't think it's going to be in time to organize a third alternative, but I heard rumors that Kun Purachai is organizing a political party, but that's just in the papers. I haven't checked more than that. So, Pheu Thai, why do I concentrate in Bangkok? Because Bangkok will give Pheu Thai the legitimacy to form the government. If Pheu Thai comes in first and gets about half, it's down to 32 or 33 MPs now, right? Get about 15 or 16, then they probably have the legitimacy to say, hey, you cannot take the government away from us. But if they don't, I think the Democrats and the coalition partners will try to do something. They might hold hands before the election and go into the elections together. But I don't know what's going to happen after the election, because if after the election Pheu Thai comes in first and doesn't get to form the government, if that process came out naturally, meaning that the politicians cannot agree with each other and cannot agree with Pheu Thai to form the government, I think the tendency towards another violent rally or another rally that leads to violence will be decreased. But if the military interfered in setting up the government like what they did at the end of 2008 and set up this government, then I think we're gonna have a lot of fun around here in Rabrasong again, which is sad for me. I mean, I want democracy to go on. Now, all I said is democratic route. You know, there's gonna be an election, the election will be called. When the election is called, people will go out. There will be some violence. A lot of political canvassers for Pheu Thai have already been shot, 2 of them. But if things go well, people will accept the election results and what happens with the government, then that's fine. But there is always a room for a non-democratic route. And that's what the rumors are all going on around. That the system is not working, there has to be a white knight who rides in and reform the whole thing, or clear up everybody. Reset the button for a year or a year and a half and rewrite the constitution. The old formula that's been coming back again and again for the past 78 years, 79 years of Thai democracy. I don't advocate that. I don't agree with that at all. And people have been asking me and I say, don't do it. Let the democratic muddle through. You know, there'll be faults, there'll be flaws. If the election is called this year, if there's another election has to be called next year, do it. If an election has to be called every 6 months, do it. And then things will start settling down. So that's my 2 cents worth of comments. Now it's your turn.
All right, thanks, Mr.
Thank you.
Sunan.